So you want to learn how to start an LLC? In this video, I'm going to show you all the resources that you have to access to start an LLC and qualify for more grants, loans, credit, and other forms of funding so you can operate your business more efficiently so you can save and feed your families to ultimately save this country. An LLC is a limited liability company. It's a business structure in the United States whereby the owner is not personally liable for the business debts or the business's liabilities. There are basically 6 steps overall that you have to follow in order to start your LLC. First, you have to pick the state in which you're going to file your LLC. For most people, you want to file that LLC in the state in which you reside and operate your business. You know the laws and procedures of that state. For some of you, you have contacts in that state. State offices are all nearby, and potentially you don't generate enough business in the states in which you plan to file your LLC to make it even worth it to file an LLC elsewhere. Also, if you indeed go with filing an LLC in another state, then you may potentially have to register your business as a foreign entity in your own state. I actually had to do that because I had my LLC filed in Florida. I also have some residences in Florida. However, I was operating my business in New York. I had to do that in order to qualify for $4,000 of funding through Citizens Bank. Also, if you intend to file your LLC in another state, you also have to potentially pay for a registered agent. A registered agent is a person or a corporate entity that operates in the state in which you plan to file that LLC, where the court or the state government can send official documents. So for instance, if someone is filing a lawsuit against your LLC, the court has to have an address for the LLC for a registered agent in the state in which you file that LLC, to which it can send the court summons, the plaintiff complaints, and the state also has to send, for instance, annual notices to that particular place where somebody that represents either the corporate entity or someone who lives there can receive documentation on behalf of your LLC. Second, you need to pick a name for the LLC, and you have to name your LLC following the naming conventions required by the state in which you file that LLC. It could be My Business LLC, My Business L.L.C, as per the rules in that particular state. Number 3, you have to select that registered agent that I just told you about. One service I'm going to show you about right here, you actually could pay the organization to serve as your registered agent. However, if you have a residence in that particular state, then you yourself can be that registered agent. Then you have to file the articles of organization. You have to file your LLC in that particular state. Then you have to draft what's called an operating agreement. An operating agreement basically outlines all the financial and functional decisions of the LLC, and it also lists the rules, the regulations, and the provisions of the LLC. And finally, you apply for an employer identification number. I've mentioned that on previous videos. You can do that for free on irs.gov. However, if you want to facilitate this process, you can go ahead and use this service that I've listed on the spreadsheet, to which I link you, to information, to information, resources, and applications to grants for everyone. I've gone ahead and adjusted that spreadsheet, and I've renamed it to business. You know, on my spreadsheets, I've got you. We've got the LLC tab. We've got the small business resources tab, where I list CDFIs, community development financial institutions, that can help you start your LLC, help you all the paperwork, etc., and all the steps that you have to take. Small Business Development Centers is a search engine that allows you to find one in your area. Access to SCORE that can also help you. The list of Department of States, you saw that. List of grants for everyone. Resources where you can find free education with some of the most iconic educational institutions on the planet, including but not limited to MIT with their free university classes, Stanford, Google IT Support Professional Certification Program, Google Ads. This is the Tax Prep Super Sprint program that I told you about, where they give you a small business tax workshop. You got more free education sources here. You can learn how to be a journalist, a fact checker, etc. Got a couple of grants for students, for your high school students. information resources for the economic injury disaster loan, information resources for grants and information portals to grants for individuals and free money for individuals. I'll go ahead and hit the strike through on this one real quick. For nonprofits, for veterans, added a few more resources for veterans, including, but not limited to, free bank accounts over at Chase, meaning no fee bank accounts, excuse me. You don't have to pay for money orders, which are quite expensive over at Chase. Last I checked, they were like, what, $3 a piece? We can get it for $1 at the post office. You get it for free as a veteran at Chase. Grants for nonprofits. This is one source for business credit. I'll go ahead and list more resources for that and case studies on how people have been successful in applying and being awarded grants that I've listed on this spreadsheet. Click the subscribe button and click the bell notification to stay on top of all the business resources that I encounter. And I've created this new tab called LLC, and the first link you'll see is Zen Business, zenbusiness.com. I have not used this service myself. Nonetheless, there's raving reviews about it, and I went ahead and reviewed and I gave them a call today, and it looks like a service that's worth promoting. I'll probably become an affiliate. I'm not associated with this business, with this organization, absolutely, as of now. So they make it pretty simple for you to go ahead and facilitate the process of filing your LLC. So for instance, let's say we're going with an LLC. Let's go ahead and reload this because it's not selecting LLC for some reason. LLC, and let's say we're going to Delaware, right? Which is among some of the more popular places where organizations want to file their LLC. And some of the reasons are that Delaware does not tax out-of-state income. It also has low franchise taxes and filing fees in comparisons to other states, and it has what's called the Chancery Court. The Chancery Court is a court that exclusively deals with business legal issues, so business cases basically. And they refer to 300 years of case law in order to do this. They're experts at it. Where other states, they'll go ahead and take a business case. For instance, you have to encounter a lawsuit in another particular state, then they'll go ahead and take your legal case and they'll package it with the rest of the docket together with all kinds of other cases. So where another state may take years to go ahead and deal with your lawsuit or whatever case over which a court is presiding, in Delaware it could take weeks. It's a lot faster and they're a lot more efficient in that regard. Another popular place where you may want to file your LLC is Nevada. Nevada does not tax business income, capital gains, inheritance. It has no franchise tax. And also it doesn't hold information sharing agreement with the IRS. So if you value your privacy and anonymity, you can execute public filings in Nevada anonymously. Another popular state to go ahead and file your LLC is Wyoming. Wyoming is quickly becoming popular because there's no business tax. Yeah, there's no tax on business income. There's no franchise tax. And you could select what's called a private proxy if you value your privacy and anonymity, where you can select someone else to represent your stocks or shares, and they can vote for you on your behalf. So you could basically, an owner of an LLC in the state of Wyoming can remain anonymous. The other good thing about Nevada, by the way, that I just missed that I want to tell you is that you do not have to draft an operating agreement that I'll tell you about shortly, or you don't have to hold an annual meeting, although you may want to do so. Okay, so let's say you want to set up an LLC in Delaware. Zen Business will charge you only $49 in order to do it. After the $49, they'll go ahead and bill you $119. Now this is so they can serve as your registered agent in that state. Again, it's for service of process. Service of process means that it's a place to which courts and the state can send official documentation, and this organization will receive that documentation on your LLC's behalf. So it's standard filing speed. They automate the whole process for you, the filing, name selection, etc. Operating agreement template. You want to draft an operating agreement that, again, outlines all the functional and financial decisions and the rules, regulations, and provisions of your organization, 100% accuracy. They have these other packages here which may or may not be worth it. Like, for instance, they got this premium stuff, and they got, like, business domain, business website, business email address, 100% guarantee. The Representative over at Zen Business told me that if you were to buy these services a la carte, they're about $1.60, which is very expensive because you can get that for, I mean, not very expensive, but you can get it for less than half that. I mean, you could buy a shared hosting plan for about, I don't know, $100 or whatever the case may be, and you could host an infinite amount of websites potentially, depending on the package that you buy. You can do that through HostGator and Bluehost, if I'm not mistaken, a number of hosting organizations. Business domains, they only cost like about, they could be as low as $8, $7, $2 sometimes, depending on the extension that you're selecting, that you can get through GoDaddy or Namecheap. And for this pro plan, they do that employer ID number for you, but you can do that for free right on IRS. They give you a banking resolution template, which is just basically a document that you go ahead and submit to your bank once you open your business bank account, and it authorizes other people to sign checks on the LLC's behalf. Worry-free compliance. So this is something that typically the Department of State handles, where they'll tell you, listen, you got to pay for your annual filing again. And they'll send you an email in regards to that. 100% accuracy. So it's basically unnecessary, this pro plan. With a little digging, you could do all this stuff yourself. But this is pretty good. $49, and then you're paying $1.19 every single month just to maintain that registered agent. It appears to be a good deal. And I'll go ahead and partner, and feel free to let me know of any questions that you may have. I have a page over here that tells you exactly how the IRS regards limited liability corporations, limited liability companies. So, you know, it's a business structure allowed by state statute, although the IRS may consider the LLC for tax purposes as a corporation or as a sole proprietorship. And that's something that you also have to work out with your tax advisor. Remember, don't take all of this information as concrete. Feel free to go ahead and seek legal advice and ensure that whatever you're doing complies with the law. The other thing with this Zen Business thing that is with this package, they give you a 20-minute consultation for free with a tax advisor. So, and on the free resources, I believe I gave you a link. I link you to Hello Alice, where they have like a full tutorial on business taxes. So that's back on the business spreadsheet. Now, this is the same grant spreadsheet. I just went ahead and rearranged the place. Hope you like it. If you don't want to use zenbusiness.com, you can go ahead and go to the Department of State as well. It's a tedious exercise nonetheless. So for instance, you go ahead and take a look at Delaware. There's a popular place to go ahead and open and to file your LLC. I believe I already have it open. Let me see. I'll just crack it right here, so I don't have to search and waste your time on it. All right, so how to form a new business entity. They basically tell you everything. They outline all of the steps you have to take in order to do that. And then you have to look to where when you visit these Department of State's website, you have to find the link to the online filing form. And then you got to pay all of these. You have to ensure that you cross all your T's and dot all your I's. Back on the spreadsheet, I've gone ahead and listed this is the upload service information. So depending on how well designed the platform is in order to take, or the whole Department of State actually has been structured to be able to take applications, you may have online filing forms. In this particular case, you have a document upload service right here. So you operate it through here. So it's a bit more tedious if you don't want to pay the $49 through zenbusiness.com. But it's good to have all these Department of State's websites handy so you can know exactly what you need to do. So this is Form 8832. So basically, if you want the IRS to consider your LLC as a corporation, you go ahead and ask your tax advisor why you want to do that. What are the benefits of doing that? This is the form that you have to file. Now, I've gone ahead and listed that in the business spreadsheet. Also, if you want to do, let's say, your operating agreement by yourself. This is a hack, by the way. So you go to rocketlawyer.com, right? And they want you to take a free trial of their service, which costs a fee. But before doing that, they allow you to go ahead and fill in some information that they will draft in your customized operating agreement. So you basically fill in that information. I went ahead and created this fictitious LLC, Sky Eye LLC. You say that you want it in Delaware or whatever state, the address. That's what Starbucks, at which I ate my pan de bono on a road trip a couple of months back. I love it. Love pan de bono. If you don't know what it is, ask somebody, baby. I'll take you to my favorite spot in Jersey. Anyway, when will this operating agreement take in effect? So when the LLC will take in effect. All right, so basically the hack is that you go ahead and fill in all the information that this form asks you. However, there's no way that you can copy and paste this form itself, so you're gonna have to go through every single page. Once you're done, you go all the way to the end, right? To the end of this form, and I think is this the last one? Yeah, so I believe this is the last one, and you'll have to go through all these pages and go ahead and copy this stuff word for word, and you'll essentially have your operating agreement for free. So it takes some work, but you can get it for free. Or you can go ahead and use this template from True IC. It's a single member operating agreement. I've also linked you to this template on the spreadsheet, on the LLC tab. Okay, so you just basically fill in the information, the name of your LLC, etc., right? The other thing that with a number of these pro plans on Zen Business, they'll also cover what's called an amendment. So you want to make changes to your articles of organization. So you want to change your name. They actually include that, I believe, with the pro plan, if I'm not mistaken. Worry-free compliance, business name, banking resolution template. They don't say that. I'm not sure if they offer it with the $49 plan nonetheless. So I would have to go ahead and research that. Feel free to call them. They actually have their phone number. But amendments are any changes that you want to make to the LLC. Any changes to the article of organization. I guess the key thing, the amendment that most people may want to make is, for instance, is to change the name of the LLC. You don't like the name? I may want to change the name of my organization. I don't like it as much as I did when I first selected it. So, for instance, you go to the state of Delaware, right? This is the page where you find out how to actually file the LLC, right? It lists all the steps, and then this is the document upload service. And then this is the Department of State page where it has the amendments. So let's say you want to change the name, right? You click on this one, Limited Liability Company, and you would have to file this document with the Department of State with one of the packages over on zenbusiness.com. I'm not sure if it's the starter package or the pro package. They actually do that for you. I believe it's twice a year if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and call them up to find out exactly what they will do on your behalf in regards to amendments. This is the Nevada Secretary of State. If you want to go ahead, go directly to the horse's mouth and file your limited liability company with the state of Nevada, which is another state that's popular among entrepreneurs due to, you know, no taxes on business income, capital gains, etc., no information sharing. This is for Texas. A number of you I know are from Texas. Illinois. Getting a call right now. I'm not going to take it. I know it's potentially a robo caller. And if you want to find out the website to your Department of State, simply go ahead and take this. Go ahead and Google this. I actually listed the guide right here. Right here. So you go right here. Google query for Department of your state. Your state, Department of State, file LLC. So that keyword in bracket, you will go ahead and replace that with the state in which you operate your business or the state where you want to file your LLC. So again, let's say you are in the state of Minnesota. First thing to come up. I still saw penguins there in May. All right, so right here. And you have all the information resources to how to file your LLC in Minnesota or whatever state in which you want to file your LLC. As always, our business spreadsheet is free for all of us to use, and you can access it by visiting bit.ly/bizss21. Talk soon.